Hello and welcome to MRS Plays Aeon's End Legacy of Gravehold with special guest Cinnamon. Choose to play either the Gravehold or Azer campaign. Then if you choose Gravehold, open the Gravehold book and begin reading at page 1. Let's do Gravehold. So goodbye Azer narrative book. Goodbye this book. Ow, my head. Let's toss that down and let us open. Yeah, let's push this box mostly out of frame. Let's open the Gravehold narrative book. Da-da-da! Really, Kadir, you're an adult. Can you try to have a bit of decorum? Malistar takes his wife by the shoulder and pulls her back away from the jewelry display she was rooting energetically through. Kadar grins. Don't you just find it fascinating how Aether can come together in so many... Hi, Cinnamon. Did you want to read? Okay, follow along. Can come together in so many unique shapes and forms, contain immense power, and also be so incredibly shiny. Malistar looks over at Kadir, exhausted. You are why our daughter is so gem crazy. Kadir snickers. Oh, come on. It's taken long enough to get the markets up and running here. We might as well enjoy them. I've missed the dirt market so much. I'm owed a little bit of overindulgence. Fine, Malistar says with a long, suffering sigh. Besides, Kadir teases, you're the gem-crazy one here. That is entirely on you. My work with gems is purely professional, Malistar huffs, crossing his arms. Uh-huh, and I've never caught you cooing over them in your workshop. Malistar's cheeks redden, and he scowls. Giving them little voices, Kadir continues mockingly. All right, I give in. I'm a little invested in my gems. Malistar wraps an arm around his wife and pulls her into his chest, pressing a kiss to the side of her head. You win. Kadir, Malistar, did you come to see the new market too? Malistar and Kadir look toward to see Gygar standing beside the gigantic metal form of his friend, Lost. We did, Malistar replies. Good to see you both return safe from your trip to the ruins of Gravehold. The excavation process is really coming along, Gygar says, his eyes sparkling. Your daughter is a wonder with a pickaxe. I expect we'll be heading back to rejoin her and Nook out there in a few days. Portal, says Lost, his voice creaking out from beneath the suit of armor encasing his form. Gygar looks up in confusion. What was that, Lost? Portal, Lost repeats, more empathetically. Kadir looks past him and sees a thin purple line crackling down through the open air in the middle of the market. Portal! Everybody run! The merchants and market-goers start to run as Malistar and Kadir shoulder their way forward, weapons drawn to face whatever monstrosity is about to come out of the breach. The tear widens until it's a vivid purple swirl, and a figure steps out from it, human-shaped but obscured by draping robes. Is that Zaxos? I don't know what an X sounds like. Gygar turns to Kadir, mouth gaping. I've heard all kinds of fascinating tales about Zaxos walking out of void breaches. Is that him? It doesn't look like him, Kadir says slowly. Oh no, certainly not, the figure says, and the voice that comes out is unmistakably female. But I must admit, he wasn't entirely on the wrong track. He simply lacked the proper intentions. The creatures of the void are so powerful, so unusual. We will show you exactly how dangerous they are capable of becoming. We? Malistar glances around the deserted square. From behind the woman, liquid purple creatures ooze out of the portal. The children of the void are each unique. You have lived alongside them for centuries, and yet you have never even bothered to learn their names. The woman lifts a large black book, the leather cover deeply embossed with glittering silver runes. I, however, know all their names, and I know how to harness them. Open envelope 11. These are your mages for this game. Open... Okay, wait. Hold on. Let's get the box. Hi, Cinnamon. So, as a legacy game, this has a lot of interesting stuff. Also, it's a type on page 33 of the Gravehold narrative booklet. Apply this sticker to page 33, so when we get there. Also, we have a do not open until end of can't not get glue on it. Do not open until end of campaign little thing, so I'm going to keep that safe. Insights of the Legacy of Gravehold. Is this where envelope 11 is? I don't know. We have a lot of stuff that we can look through here. We have like this stuff and we have this stuff. Okay, here we go. Envelopes! You can see here. Envelope 1, 2, I'm guessing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Envelope 11. So, for all of this stuff, it says, do not open until instructed. So I'm putting it all back in the box. I'm sure we'll get through everything eventually in one of these two campaigns. Put this stuff back. Page 33. Page 33 is like at the end. Page 33, page 33. Done. I've applied the sticker. Da 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 da. Boom. So as we can, open envelope 11. These are your mages for this game. We see this thing, path tokens. Any ally draws 2 cards, or cast any prepared spell that deals 2 additional damage, or any ally gains 2 charges, or you and any ally may destroy a card in hand or discard pile. So some storm tokens. More path tokens on the back. Any ally gains 2 life. Allies collectively prep up to 2 spells to their open or closed breaches. Gain a card from a supply that costs 5 energy or less. Or Gravehold gains 3 life. Remember, Gravehold is a city. We want to keep that alive. Boom. And then we have the characters. We have Lost, we have Malistar, we have Kadia, and we have Gygar. So instead of the last game where we made our own characters, now we choose between one of these 4. So Lost, the big guy in armor, who seems to have a little pet thingy. That's interesting. Lost, the Forgotten Forge. Encased in steel. Activate during your main phase. Deal damage equal to the number of spells in your discard pile. That could be a lot. Or Burst of Inspiration. During your main phase, draw a card from the top or bottom of the Inventions deck and place it into an ally's hand. Gygar. Cast 2 of your prepared spells without discarding them. Or Kadir. Either choose a side of a path token that is not on your mat and place it on your mat, or flip over one of the path tokens on your mat. We looked at the path tokens, so over here, those are some good stuff. Then, if you have 4 path tokens on your mat, set one aside, resolve all of your path tokens on your mat in any order. So this one at least gets path tokens. I'm choosing Kadir, partially because she's the only female character here. Then open deck GH-1A. GH-1B. These are the starter cards and turn order cards for your mages, along with player aids. Let's open up these cards here. Boom, boom. If you like just opening things a lot, yeah, legacy games are good for that. There's a lot of stuff to open. A lot of rules to be changed, like, constantly. So this is the front of the deck. And then that's the back of the deck. Do not open from this side. So you can see crystal cards, we can see bides and sparks and more crystals and sparks and not another bide. Weird. Read the back of the map for additional rules. Okay. The starting hand is 3 crystals, boop, boop, boom, 1 ancient emerald and a spark. Because all the characters have the same, like, starting hand stuff. 3 crystals, an ancient emerald, and a spark. And the starting deck is 4 crystals and a spark. So these look like all of the starting decks for all of the characters. And then there's inventions. And then there's the players. 1, 2... So yeah, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. Wild, and then Nemesis, and then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. For the turn order deck. And then a few little things of, hey, how to play. Just in case I might need them, I'm taking them. And for the rest of the deck, we don't need the rest of these. Hey, off screen, out of sight, out of mind, just like that, just like envelope 11. Then open up envelope 1 and deck BS. Wait, I know that deck. I know deck BS. Oh, hi, what do you know? Envelope 1 has the Bishop of Squalls. And deck BS. Do not shuffle deck BS. Set aside the top 9 cards of the deck. Those cards are the unnamed deck. So once again, we have to open up the deck. Somewhere along here is a thing. There we go. To open this up. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is the unnamed deck. These cards are about the remaining cards are the Nemesis deck. If you're playing with 1, 2, or 3 players, discard the top 7, 5, or 3 cards of the Nemesis deck. I'm playing with 1 player. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So discard the top 7. Defend your Gravehold from Bishop of Squirrels. If you won your game versus Bishop of Squirrels, read section 80. If you lost, read section 25. So, that's a discard. That's the deck. All of this, off to the side. This thing, that shows the rules of how to play. I'm pretty sure I know how to play. Deck BS, go away. 4, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, if you're playing with 2 players, you each get 2 things. Nemesis always gets 2. So, how it generally works is players get 4 turns for every Nemesis 2 turns. If you're playing with 2 players, each player would get 2 turns. If you're playing with 4 players, you just use 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, not quite like this, but general idea. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 2. But also there's the player 1 or player 2. So, actually, if you're playing with 4 players, it would be player 1 or player 2, player 3 or player 4 with 2 Nemesis cards. So each rotation, each player only gets 1 turn. However, it's just my 1 character against the Nemesis, so I'm taking all of the character turns. Against the Nemesis is 2. The rest of these cards, don't need them. This thing keeps getting stuck to my arm. Bishop of Squirrels has 50 HP. Now, if only we had some dice or something to mark down the Bishop of Squirrels' 50 starting hit points. Is there a thing in this box? Whoops. Hey, look, dice! So unleash. Okay, wait. I got some new dice at the convention. Actually, I think that clear die I already had. I got, like, a lot of very little dice. We are ready to go. We have our starting hand, we have our starting deck, which is probably always going to be the same. Shuffle up the turn order deck. And do the setup. Place the unnamed deck face down next to this mat. Place an unnamed into play and resolve its immediately effect. Minion unnamed. Blank, 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 blank. Immediately choose a 5-letter name and write it here. Open deck E and read. Oh gosh. Well, it's a darn good thing I have these markers to start writing on these cards, right? Oh yeah, because that was the whole thing. The bishop was all like, I know all of their names. Yeah, well, what's this one's name? Wind, fire, water? Choose a 5-letter name and write it here. I want to give it some sort of an elementally type name, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that this is gonna stay on that. And deck E. Open up deck E. Metamorphosis event. Write the name you chose for a card L2BS41 on L2EO3. If that name starts with a vowel, cross out the word persistent effect on the card. Does not start with a vowel. Otherwise, cross out the second persistent effect on that card. L2EO3. Then place that card under the Bishop of Skulls Nemesis mat. Banish this card. Win! And this, win! This, back in the box. We'll probably need it again immediately. Da-da-da-da. Place another unnamed into play and resolve its immediately effect. Immediately, if there is no name below, choose a 6-letter name and write it here. Pink does not work. This pink, not so good. Fool! A-E-T-H-E-R. Persistent, write the next letter in the name, then if you write the whole name, do the thing. So this doesn't make us look at a thing anyway. In a 1, 2, or 3 player game, place a third unnamed into play and resolve its immediately effect. Name unnamed. Immediately, if there is no name below, choose a 5-letter name and write it here. Persistent, write the next letter of the name you chose on the name line. So these two are going to get things. So, I don't know, Earth. G-R-O-U-N-D. Oh, come on. E-A-R-T-H. Yeah. Soil, earth, and ground. Those could have been the names. So there. Boom. Easy. The Bishop of Squirrels with 50 HP. With an unleash ability of draw a card from the unnamed deck and put it into play. And increased difficulty rules, each unnamed comes into play with 2 additional life. We are not playing with increased difficulty rules. Additional rules. Whenever an unnamed is placed into play, do not resolve its persistent effect during the Nemesis main phase this turn. Okay. When an unnamed is discarded, place it in the unnamed discard pile. Sure. When the unnamed deck is empty and an unnamed would be drawn, shuffle the unnamed discard pile face down to form a new unnamed deck. Standard issue. Standard fare. Whatever. If there are no cards in the unnamed deck or discard pile when an unnamed would be drawn, resolve the persistent effect of each unnamed in play. If you do really poorly, if there are ever no unnamed cards in play, no cards in the unnamed discard pile, no cards in the unnamed deck, the players lose. Okay, so if we get rid of all of the cards, we just lose. At the end of the game, if there are 8 or more cards under this mat, randomly banish cards until there are 7 cards remaining. Lucky number 7. At the end of the game, if there are fewer than 5 cards under this mat, resolve the persistent effect of the unnamed with the most letters in its name until there are 5 cards under this mat. So 5 through 7. At the end of the game, once there are 5 to 7 cards under this mat, place all of the cards on this mat into envelope 15 and reseal the envelope. Okay, so we're going to be seeing these things later. So let's get started with the game. Now, what I'm curious about is Bishop of Skulls, there's no store? So all these crystals don't really do anything. Unless I'm absolutely mistaken and there was supposed to be a store, but it looks like there's no actual store yet. There might be a card that says like open up a store, but because this game is a deck builder and we can't really build a deck without any sort of a store. So let's just start up the match and see how much we can do. I guess we can use these to open up breaches at least. So, turn 1. My turn. So, the player's turn. At the start of the turn, cast any prepared spells. We have none. And then, during main phase, you can play gems or relics, gain a card, gain a charge, focus a breach, open a breach, prep a spell to a breach, resolve a well-prepared effect, or resolve a 2 discard effect. And then you draw. So we can gain charges. We already have that ability. The refined prototype ability can only be used if all 5 of these spots have charges on them. So we have to pay 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 in order to use this ability once to either choose a side of a path token that is not on your mat and place it on your mat, or flip over one of the path tokens on your mat. Then if you have 4 path tokens on the mat, set one aside. Resolve all of the path tokens on the mat in any order. So we have to pay basically 40 to get 3 path token effects. So I'm going to prep that right there, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Discarding each an emerald, as well as a crystal, and a crystal. And that is 4 energies. I'm just going to flat out open this breach. So now I can prepare spells to it as I wish. I could have gone 2 charges. I chose to open the breach instead. And that is the turn. At the end of the turn, all of the cards go to the discard pile in any order, and I just draw. Back up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have a spark, and I have 4 more crystals as my hand. And then, it's the Nemesis turn. For the Nemesis turn, that's where these little cheat cards come in handy. From oldest to newest, resolve the effects of each minion and power card the Nemesis has in play. So, persist, persist. Write the next letter in the name, write the next letter in the name. So, A, E. From oldest to newest. Okay? Perfection. And then draw phase. Draw a card from the Nemesis deck. Boom. Minion. The Fevered Scribe. Immediately unleash. This minion suffers damage equal number of players in the game. So, unleash. Draw a card from the unnamed deck and put it into play. Minion unnamed. Immediately, if there's no name below, choose a 4-letter name and write it here. Write it here. I wish I had like a marker or a pen or something that I could really write on plastic, but I don't, so oh well. Honestly, wait a second. If I move this up slightly and all of this up slightly, that at least it won't be covering up the breaches. And then there is this minion. So immediately unleash, which is boom, boom, boom. And this minion suffers damage equal number of players in the game. It has 1 damage marked on it. You cannot see that card. It's like a magic trick. You just cannot see that. Boom. Boom. That's ridiculous. With the persistent effect of any player suffers 1 damage, resolve the persistent effects of an unnamed in play twice. So we really want to kill that thing fast. But that was the Nemesis turn, and now it's our turn. And again, we can't buy stuff? Nemesis turn. Please tell us that we can get stuff. Anyway, persistent. Also, any player suffers 1 damage. Write the next letter, and just keep writing more letters. So A, E, E, A, and this would be an F. And then do 2 extra letters. Right? Yeah. Resolve the persistent effects of an unnamed and play twice. Let's write out 2 more letters for this. So F, I, R. 4. So that's going to, end soon, but that was also going to end soon anyway. And then the Nemesis draws a card. Unleash. Any player suffers 2 damage and discards a card in hand. If that card costs 2 or less, add a fire token to your location on the map. Well, all of my cards cost 0. So unleash. Draw a card from the unnamed deck and put it into play. Meaning unnamed. Immediately, if there's no name below, choose a 5-letter name and write it here. Persistent, write the next name. Ba 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 ba. Light. L-I-G-H-T. I can't imagine a world without light, after all. Boom. Any player suffers 2 damage and discards a card. Well, I'm the only player, so let's take 2 damage. Down to 7, and I have to discard a card. And apparently we're using the map already? Okay, so the players immediately lose the game if there are 10 or more fire tokens on your location on the map, and after you finish fighting a Nemesis, you will receive some rewards from the village where you are fighting. The more fire tokens there are, the less rewards you will receive. And that's the Nemesis turn. But now, you see the Nemesis is taking 2 turns this set of cycle, so all 3 of these turns are mine. Also, put that in the discard pile. So as you can see, it's my turn. I will cast this and deal 1 damage. See, this is the most annoying thing, because if it starts taking turns, it's going to make these go absolutely haywire. So attack the fevered scribe. Boom. That's 2. And then I guess for 3 gems I'll focus a breach and I'll prep this. And then don't shuffle the deck. Put it back down. Draw a new 5. And then go to my turn again. Cast a spark on this thing again. It goes to 3 damage. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can get... Can you even see that? You can kind of see that. You can totally see that. You can absolutely see that. Wow. Okay. I will focus that. Sure, fine. And ready a breach. And then it's my turn again. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Foam 5. And then it goes to my turn. Ready a spell, ready a spell. Spend 3 and just open up this. Actually, wait. Open up the breach. Plus 1 damage on cast. I'll put a spell on that instead. There. And now this deck, the turn order deck, does get shuffled. So we gotta foam, 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 foam. If we get another turn before it gets another turn, that'll be so good. That's what's important right now. If we can get a turn before it does. Yes, we get our turn. 1, 2, plus 1 damage. 3 damage. Oh, right, I totally forgot to get my hand after last turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Deal 3 damage to this. It has 6 hit points. So this goes to discard pile. Move here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just grab 2 little charges. Put this one on the bottom of them all. So when I go to draw my new hand, I know that the emerald thing is right on top. So boom, I at least got rid of one of them. So that's cool. And then, boom, Nemesis Turn. So persistent. Let's get out the marker again. So yeah, T R E, that's going to do a thing, and L. Ba-ba-bum. Metamorphosis event. Write the name you chose for this on card L2EO9. If that name starts with a letter that is contained in any player's initials, write a 2 in the blank in the persistent. Otherwise, write a 3 in the blank on the persistent. F is not part of my initials. My initials are CCC. My character is just Kadir. Does not even have an F at all. So unfortunately, Fire will persistently F-I-R-E will persistently make Gravehold suffer 3 damage. Then place that card under the Bishop of Scrolls Nemesis mat and banish that card. Is that gone? No. Leave. Put it under the Bishop mat. Done. And this, also done. Out. Out, out, darn spot. So that's the persistent, and then it flips up a card. Cool Whelp. Persistent. Unleash. Add a fire token to your location on the map. So we need that thing to die. But it's hard to kill it because it has shields on it. Are we really not supposed to get... Are we, like, seriously just not supposed to even have a store? If it turns out we're supposed to have a store and I have to do all of this over again, I'm going to be so ticked off. But it's like... Okay, wait. I didn't look through all of this, did I? Spark, spark, spark. Spells, but this is like 7 invention. No, these are inventions. Invention, 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 invention. Yeah, no, it sure looks like we're not supposed to have a store for this. Oh my gosh. So, two of these little fellas have shields. Shields are bloody annoying. So, minion has a shield icon with a number on it, so 1 and 2. That minion comes into play with the number of shield tokens indicated on the shield. When a minion is dealt any amount of damage while it has at least one shield token, remove a shield token from the minion instead of removing any life. But only one shield each time. So basically, I have to hit this once and then hit it for 3. Hit this twice and then hit it for 3. My only attack does 1, so that's not so unheard of. This is basically 4 HP, this is basically 5 HP. But I need to kill this. I need to kill that fast. But... okay, it's my turn now. Boom, and boom. And I'm going to just give myself one little thing. And that's my turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then go to another turn. So let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'll deal with both of the shields on the cold whelp. So now it has no more. This is my hand. So here's the thing. I can use this to gain 1 energy, whatever. But since I have 4 more charges, an ally will gain 1 life. And since I'm playing single player, I am my own ally. If you're playing with at least 2 characters, you do not count as your own ally. But single player, you can kind of abuse some stuff this way. So I will gain 1 life for that. Throw in another gemstone, go up to 5. And since I'm at 5, I can refine prototype. Choose a side of a path token. Boom. Cast a prepared spell, deals 2 additional damage. That would actually be really good, just because all these things are like 3s. You and any ally may destroy a card in hand or discard pile. Actually, that one would also be good. Any ally gains 2 charges. That would be lame. I'm going to choose Path Token. Cast any prepared spell. It deals 2 additional damage. Of course, I don't get to use it immediately. And I lose all of my charges. But then I can still buy 1 extra. Go to end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can see that in the next 2 turns, 1 is mine, 1 is the Nemesis. I need to take 2 extra turns because I need to prep these spells and kill that. The Nemesis is going to get anywhere from 1 to 3 entire turns of being able to have this thing be persistently going. I'm going to go first. I'm going to prep this, and with my crystals, I'm going to buy 1 little charge, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and take all of these again. But then, Nemesis turn, so... foam. AETH EART LI. Foam. Oh yeah, and then also unleash, which means foam. If there is no name below, choose a 5-letter name and write it here. Persistent, write the next letter in the name. Shade is a name. SHADE. So immediately get that at the ready. Also, fire token towards spot on the map. Bishop of Scrolls is still at full health, by the way. We haven't heard it once yet. And then Unleash. Again, any player suffers 2 damage. Resolve the persistent effect of an unnamed in play twice. Oh dear gosh. Well, I mean, if I do the persistent of that twice, it only really apply once. So I'll do that. But first, it unleashes again. I have to make another new name for something. Choose a 5-letter name and write it here. Cry. Just cry. Tears. Pain, sorrow, sadness, misery, misfortune, pain, tears? I don't know. What's another element? Misfortune, pain, SOROW, sorrow, solar, S, O-L-A-R. Shoot, I think I was at 2. So when I unleash, any player suffers 2 damage. Hey, I'm any player. And then resolve the persistent effect of an unnamed in play twice. So this one is going to finish up and be known as Earth. And then look at the E deck for L2E06. That's 04. This is 06. Write the name you chose for it on the next card. If that name contains any of the following letters, Q, X, Y, or Z, write Gravehold in the blank. Otherwise, write any player. So this does not contain Q, X, Y, or Z. E-A-R-T-H. Also, get rid of you. So write any player in the blank. Any player suffers 2 damage. And again, underneath. And then move all these over. So remember, I want to... If the Nemesis gets 2 turns in a row right now, that's going to royally suck. What I need to have happen is that I take the next turn, I can kill off that coal whelp. Oh, speaking of whelps and stuff, I should probably start marking who has shields and who does not, right? It's there, easy enough. Let me keep shuffling. If I could take the next turn, that's great. If the Nemesis takes even 1 turn, I'm going to be in so much pain. Yes! Good. Spark, spark. Kill the coal whelp. That's a regular old card. Foam and foam. Easy does it. And then with the 5 cards in my hand, I'll get a charge, and then use the Ancient Emerald to gain 1 life. So put myself up to 4. Boom, 7 life, just like that. And then flip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. Just as planned. So now, even if it does take a few extra turns, it's fine. I just really needed to kill that. 3, my turn again. Prep spell, prep spell. I think in this breach as well is also bonus damage, but frankly, it's more of a whatever sort of thing, if it happens sort of a thing. I have, 3 extra energies. I'm going to prep up to 5 and then get rid of all of that. So, boom. You and any ally may destroy a card in hand or discard pile. That is a generally useful effect. The thing with having the sparks, though, is I can effectively only cast, 2 per set of cards anyway, because I have to wait until my next turn. Any ally draws 2 cards, that's whatever. Any ally gains 2 charges, that's pretty lame, so I have to pay 20 for all this. Allies collectively prep up to 2 spells to their opened or closed breaches. Gravehold gains 3 life. Gain a card from the supply that costs 5 or less. There's no supply yet? I'm going to take this thing to destroy a card in hand or discard pile and hope that I can. Actually, you know what? If I destroy you and any ally, so I'd get to destroy 2, right? That's how I am my own ally right now. So, boom, just like this. Next turn, Nemesis turn, so persistent. E. 1, 1, 1. G. S and S. I don't want to risk getting marker over the playmat. And then open up a shop. Ooh, Devil's Pact. It's an attack. Oof. As long as there are at least 2 options remaining on this card, cross out the option you chose after resolving this card. Interesting. Gravehold suffers 5 damage, or any player suffers 5 damage, or the players discard the 3 most expensive prep spells, ow, or unleash twice, the players collectively lose 3 charges. I have no charges at the moment. So I'd almost be fine with that, but it's like, cross out the option you chose after resolving this card. So I think right now Gravefold suffers 5 damage is the least impactful. Gravefold's at full health. It can take a bit of damage. And I'm going to cross that off, which means it won't happen later. So I'm guessing I'm going to have to deal with that Devil's Pact card in the future. But the players lose 3 prepped spells thing against, a single player sucks. If I'm playing a 4-player mode and we all have a prepped spell that we can, save one of our spells, if we all have 2 prepped spells because we all have been doing this, it's basically boom. But against a single player, that is such a major threat. Any player suffers 5 damage right now is also really bad, but I might be able to live with that later. Unleashing twice when I'm doing so slow is also horrible. Okay, my turn. I will deal my 3 damage straight to this thing's face. That's the unnamed discard pile. Just get rid of that for the moment. And then also get 2 charges. I'll use this die. No, this. I'll use the pink. 2 charges. I do not gain any life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nemesis turn again. Okay. Foam, 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 foam. G, H, O. Yeah, if I wipe off the entire name, does it stop counting as its name? Maybe a pen would work better, I don't know. But then, Otherling. When this is discarded, banish this. Interesting. Persistent, unleash. Any player suffers 1 damage. 10 flippin' health! How am I supposed to deal with that with basic sparks? I can deal 3 damage every other turn. My turn, of course. Boom, boom. Honestly, I'm starting to think maybe I should try opening this. But for only 3, all I can do is get myself another charge. I think that once I get this, I'm going to charge like crazy. By the way, 5 cards in hand. Shuffle this up again. So I would love to take, 4 turns in a row right now, but I'd have to take 3 turns in a row at least to kill one of these things. At least, as it stands, these are only going up by 1 each. So this is the only one that could finish by the time this initiative is over. So I'll get, theoretically, 4 turns before that finishes. Theoretically. Again, I would need 4 turns to kill it, so it might be best just to leave this thing alone and work on these 2 instead. So, my turn. I'll deal 3 damage. I'll deal 1 to get rid of that shield, and then 2 damage onto this thing. And then I'll buy 2 more charges, gain 1 life, and utilize my charges. My foot is drastically asleep right now. And get another path token. So Gravefold gains 3 life, which I can use now because Gravefold is bit down. Allies collectively prep up to 2 spells to their opened or closed breaches, or any ally draws 2 cards. Giving myself 2 cards does sound nice. Fine. I'll let myself draw 2 cards. And then, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. Alright, well, again, I need 2 more turns to kill that. Nemesis turn, so 4. H. A. L. And then persistent, unleash. And any player suffers 1 damage, so I'll have to take 1 damage. Another unnamed minion. Immediately, if there's no name below, choose a 4-letter name and write it there. Pain. P-A-I-N. Persistent. Write the next letter in the name you chose for this card on the name line. Ba 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 ba. No shields though. No shields. What's this? Any player suffers 1 damage. So at least I'm gaining life this whole time, right? Let's have that much going for me. Oh, right, shoot. That was just the persistent effects. It does get a card. To discard it, discard 4 cards in hand. Power 1, unleash twice. Grateful suffers 3 damage and banish this. So, in order to get rid of that card, I have to discard 4 of my cards that I have in hand. That's going to be painful. But if it gets to its next turn, I basically can't deal with that unleashing twice. So I think I'm going to have to, because I know I have a turn, but I don't, there's a 2 in 3 odds that I'll have the next turn as well, but I don't know that for sure. So I'm going to prep that to there, and I'm going to discard these 4 cards to get rid of this. I discard it, and then, so that's just, I discard it, right? Yeah. And then I think it's, if that's used, then banish it. I think that's what it's supposed to be. And that's my whole turn, so go. Okay, so I do have the next turn. Well, you get these 5 cards in hand. So I could have easily just tossed those, but I didn't, because I didn't know. And one of those turns is mine, one of them is not. I will destroy this thing. With this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, it's 5 cards. And then I'll go and buy 2 more charges. So in 3 charges, I'll be able to do like a lot of stuff. Go to turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it's my turn again, and I will prep these 2 again. I'll buy another charge. So basically, on my next turn, not only will I gain a life, but I'll also get a bunch of path stuff. But I know that's the Nemesis turn next. Boom. Which means this card is going to finish. Light. That's complete. We need E10. Foam. E10. Metamorphosis event. Write the name you chose for this on this next card. If that name contains the letters E, L, N, R, S, or T, cross out the first persistent, otherwise cross out the second persistent. So cross out the any player suffers 1 damage and discards a prepped spell, but it keeps the persistent unleash. Because this is light. Yeah, cross out. So if you have any of like the 6 most common letters used in English, it does that. So L, I, G, H, T. And then put it, oh no, A, and this is just P for pain. Oh, right, this. Unleash and any player suffers 1 damage. So let's take this last card immediately. If there's no name below, choose a 5-letter name right here. I'm going to take another damage. Down to 6. Write the next letter in the C, R, W, T, H. Kruth. It's like a string instrument, right? So there. Oh, wait, no, don't all the way. And then Nemesis gets a card. Grateful suffers 4 damage. If there are 2 or more unnamed in play, resolve the persistent effects of 2 unnamed in play twice, otherwise unleash twice. Oh my god, we have Grateful suffers 4. We can take that. We can take that. So here's the thing. How many are already underneath? There's already 4 underneath. 4 out of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. AI. If I get a turn, I can kill that pain thing. But I'm going to utilize the effect of this thing. Solar. So card E14. Boom. Oh, write the number of consonants in that name in the shield section of the card. Minimum 1. So consonants 1, 2, 3. At least it's not Kruth and 5. Then place that card, blah, 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 then banish, blah, blah, blah. So, blah, blah, blah. So it has a shield 3 now. SOLAR shield 3 shield, because it doesn't really show up so well in there, and then put it underneath that. Okay. And did all of that. Foam, foam, foam. And now, shuffle the turn order deck. Remember, if we can get a turn before it gets a turn, we can at least kill the pain, because right now, if it unleashes, like, what, 1, 2, 3 or 4 more times, we are so absolutely dead. Because if it runs out of unnamed cards, we lose. Our turn. Okay. Kill the pain. And then, boom, boom, boom. Go to 5, go to 0. Get one of these path tokens, whatever. Any ally gains... Yeah, cast any prep spell. Oh, shoot. I don't have a prep spell to deal with, so... What's that? Gravefold gains 3? Yeah, I think Gravefold gains 3. And I'll put one of these aside, so I don't have any prep spells to cast, so there's no point in doing that. So I will... So these are cards I've used this turn. Also, I gain 1 life. 7. You and any ally may destroy a card in hand or discard pile. So I'm just going to destroy the 1. Remove this. It's not gone forever, but it is gone for now. And then any ally draws 2 cards. Boom, boom. And Gravefold gains 3 life. 24. Easy enough, right? Nothing to worry about there. I'm going to use these 2 to charge. Set 1 aside. Resolve all of the path tokens on your mat in any order. Choose a side of a path token that's not on your mat and place on your mat, or flip over one of the path tokens on your mat. Then if you have 4 path tokens on your mat, set 1 aside. I feel like I have to look this up a little bit. Like, am I supposed to start with path tokens on my mat, or is it just a case of now if I get completely charged up again, I can basically every other turn get this effect? Looks like I've been doing Kadia's ability wrong, because it says, like, then if you have 4 more, blah, 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 set 1 aside. That's its own separate thing. Resolve all the path tokens on your mat in any order. That's the important thing. You just get that. Every time you do this, you just get that effect. So, yeah, it turns out that by spending 10, you don't have to spend 40 to get the ability once. You spend 10 to get the ability once. So, just for sake of things, I'm going to take Gravefold's 24 life, put it up to 30. And say that I've been using that quite a bit, and... Okay, so I have been underpowering myself like crazy here. But I did end my turn, and now it is time for my next turn. So I can deal 2 damage here. Boom. And honestly, I'm starting to think just deal some damage to this here, to this thing. It has taken 2. And then prep a spell, and then once again get 2 charges. Go to end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically every turn I can now attack for 2 is how it's being now. But every third turn I get a whole bunch of extra abilities, as it turns out. Destroy a card in hand or discard pile. Was this? Gain a card from the supply, but there is no supply. So now it's my turn again. I can attack that thing for another 2. Purpose spell again. I won't have 4 charges when I utilize that, but I will wind up with 4 charges. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then of course 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like this. And 1, 2, 3. 2 of these are Nemesis cards. 1 is my turn. Okay, Nemesis. Persistent, Unleash, and any player suffers 1. So let's shuffle their deck. Shuffle this thing, because the Unleash is to draw a card from this, put it into play. Boom, boom. Does not do its Persistent immediately, fortunately. And then any player suffers 1 damage. I will take my 1 point of damage. And then this. It still has its 1 shield. C. And then boom. And then the Pale Reckoner immediately. This minion loses a shield token for each player in the game, so it still has 3 shields. Persistent, any player suffers 2 damage and add a fire token to your location on the map. So I have to kill that thing as well as everything else I'm doing. Okay. Go to my turn. Spark, deal 2 damage. Bring that up to 6 damage. I'll prep this Spark on the open breach of +1 damage. Make sure to use the Ancient Emerald so I gain a life. So I'm up to 7. Cool. Boom, boom. Actually, yeah. Use both of these. Go up to 5 charges. Use all 5 charges. Grab this path. Do I care to destroy a card in hand or discard pile? I don't particularly care to do that, so I'll put that aside. Any ally draws 2 cards. I'll draw 2 cards. Cast any prep spell. It deals 2 additional damage. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Kill that otherling. When this is discarded, banish it. So that is now gone. Like, for good. And Gravefold gains 3 life, which, whatever, it's already there. Any ally gains 2 charges. Starts to look like this would actually be really useful. But I really wanted the cast any prep spell thing. Because now that I know that this, it's actually going to be really good. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, I'll get myself 2 charges. End the turn like this. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like that. And then it is monster turn. So, there's my marker. So this is an R. And this is D. And then the Pale Reckoner, any player suffers 2 damage and add a fire token to your location on the map. So, and then to discard, spend 7 energy. Power 2, unleash twice. If there are 3 less fire tokens on your location on the map, add a fire token, otherwise unleash. So, I don't have 7. I can't get 7. The most I could ever possibly get is 5. So, I cannot do that. It really makes me feel like there's supposed to be a shop here, and I completely missed the part of, hey, there's a shop. Maybe some of the other characters would be able to spend 7. I mean, I guess if I could manage to get the charge and have 5 crystals in my hand and then draw 2 more crystals, I could. Otherwise, but this is just, eventually I'm going to unleash 3 times. That's all this is. My turn. Okay. Spend some to get 1 more charge. Focus these 2 spells. That is turn. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, and that's down here, and then go again. So let's go with deal 1 damage to, that's probably going to go, but I can deal 1 damage to that and remove the shield, and then deal 2 damage to it. So it's only at 1 hit point left, and then you can go spend these 2 to get a point, 4, and then I can spend these 2 to gain 1 life and a point, 5. So instead of Gravehold gains 3 life, because Gravehold is at full now, any ally will gain 2 charges. And then if you have 4 path tokens on your mat, set 1 aside. Resolve all of the path tokens on your mat in any order. So I'll give myself 2 charges. I'll draw 2 cards. I'll draw this card, and I'll draw this card. So these are the cards I've used this turn. These are the cards in my hand. Unfortunately, casting a prep spell can't do that. But what I can do is this, and get an extra charge. Let's put the Ancient Emerald on top, or bottom of this card pile, I guess. Draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's at 2 damage, so it only really needs 1 more left. And then, my turn again. Kill that. And prep a spell. Use these 2 to go up to 4. Boom, boom. Use these 2 to go up to 5, but also gain a life. Any ally draws 2? That sounds really useful. Okay. Casting a prep spell is not going to be so handy at the moment. 2 spells to the open or close. Actually, let me use this. Okay. So I really want the any ally gains 2 charges thing. Casting a prep spell to deal extra damage. I don't need that at the moment because I'd only still deal 1 instead of like 4. But what I do want is the any ally draws 2 cards thing. So okay, whatever. I was gonna go with any ally draws 2 and then destroy both of them so that I can cycle but faster. You know what? No, let's not destroy. Let's cast the prep spell and take out. Let's see, I've had 3 turns. I only have 1 more. I'm not going to prep another spell. That thing's going to go off. Get rid of one of the shields on here. Why is that easier if the... whatever. Cast that. I'll draw 2, gain 2 charges. Use my 2 to gain another charge. Go to and draw my 5 cards. Go to a Nemesis Turn. This is going to finally go off. Shade. Immediately. Persist. The 12th. So 4 and 12. If that name contains 5 unique letters, yes. Write 3 in the blank on the persistent and 10 in the life section. Otherwise, write 4 and 7. Any player suffers 3 damage and this thing has 10 life. Also, get rid of that card. No. Get rid of it. Any player suffers 3 damage and this thing has 10 life. This was Shade, right? Yeah, Shade. S-H-A-D-E. Shade. Box. This thing goes underneath that. So boom, and then boom. And then this persistent. Any player suffers 2 damage, and this goes down by 1. So boom, and then flip. Any player discards 3 cards in hand. Oh wait, no, this is my hand. Any player discards 3 cards in hand and suffers 2 damage, but banish this. Shoot, with these 3 cards in hand, I can't get all the way up to there. So I'm just going to toss all of that. And I'll suffer my 2 damage again. But banish this. Boom. And that's the end of this Nemesis turn. So we got rid of all of the unnamed at the moment, which means that would only, yeah, unleash twice, blah, 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 and then unleash. Yeah, because we have too much fire. But now it's my turn, so my turn is put that there, draw my 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's face down. And then it's Nemesis turn, which means any player suffers 2 damage and add a fire. And then this happens. Unleash twice, blah, 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 otherwise unleash. So unleash 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. That one has a shield, but the other 2 don't. So I can totally just murk them. And this draws a card. So if this is a card that says unleash, I am so dead. To discard, spend 7. Power 1. Can't spend 7. Power 1. Each player and Gravehold each suffer 2 damage. Resolve the persistent effect of an unnamed in play 3 times. So on the Nemesis' next turn, I'm dead. I have 1 life. If I'm made to suffer 2 damage, I'm dead. I guess the only real thing is I would really feel like I have to redo this whole challenge knowing what this actually means now. Nemesis, I'm dead.